preacher, you guys will pick up on it. Because I'm a preacher, and you can tell when I open up my mouth. Okay? First and foremost, I want to congratulate Teresa Racine for putting this together. Let's give her a round of applause.
Yes.
It takes a lot of guts to stand up against politics, and I'm going to say it. It takes a lot of guts to stand up against anything that can rise up in the community. Because not everybody in the community is always in one accord of these things taking place. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this loud and clear. And this could go to the politicians in the neighborhood. You could look me up, Reverend Genie Santos. Okay? You know, it is convenient for them to keep people bound and uneducated so that they can profit of it.
True.
But you know what? I give God all the thanks for making this woman bold enough and courageous to put this together. And also, I'm going to encourage you right now. And I'm going to, you know what? I give thanks to God for you guys being here. And you guys should give yourselves a round of applause for making it out here.
Glory to God.
Okay, some of you came out, kind of somewhere, maybe up the block. I came from the boondocks. Almost headed, almost close to Mount Vernon. Okay, and we took the train up this way. Amen. And I'm so glad to be here. So you hear a couple of amens inside of this, it's because I've been doing public speaking for 16 years, but it's always been Christian venues. It's always been all kinds of denominations, all kinds of conferences. I've been master of ceremony of many concerts, but this is actually my first secular venue. Okay, so don't worry, I'm not gonna lay hands on you. I might just want to hug you, okay? Wow. Domestic violence has no respect of persons, okay? It doesn't matter what age group you are, what sex you are, what title you carry. Domestic violence is something that visits. And it all begins, like Teresa was saying earlier, it could begin through something that happened that you probably viewed when you were younger and carry out throughout your years. But before I go on, I want to say that with me I have Chaplain Mary Lou Rivera. Wave. She is my baby sister. Amen. And I have one of my members where she went with the kids. Around there somewhere. And I am so blessed that I have one of my school deans, and he was my field study professor, Dean Howe. And I see one at Plaza College. Oh my gosh. I can't, you know, it gives me so much that they came out here. You know? Now, I've heard everything everybody said, but I'm going to come at you from another angle. And I love everything that everybody said. Everybody spoke out of the heart. And I can say I can relate to a little bit of everything that everybody said. From emotional abuse, to physical abuse, to mental abuse, to isolation. And even at one time, I had a German Shepherd that used to protect me, and that German Shepherd got beaten up for protecting me. And I had to find it a home. My first marriage, I was 23 years old when I first got married. It lasted 15 years. There was a lot of physical, there was a lot of emotional abuse, especially emotional. And he finally one day got up and abandoned me and my kids, and it affected my kids in a lot of ways. But I am happy to say that they're all doing well now. But it affected me greatly. So then you stay alone for 13 years, and you remarry, thinking it's gonna be different. And everything you were saying, Jill, the charming, all that stuff was so right. But then came in again the physical abuse, then came in the emotional abuse, and then came in the biggest battle for me. And what was that battle that? You say, well, why do people stay in it?
Financial.
Well, for one, it wasn't a financial need for me. When my first marriage, yeah, because I have 4 kids that were little, and that was part of it. But besides the fact that I really love and I really do believe in forgiveness, and as a pastor, I have counseled marriages that have been restored, that have gone to counseling, that have changed, because it is possible for somebody to get the proper help professionally and spiritually and change. But if the person doesn't want to change, you can't go around trying to change them and mold them. There's only one potter I know, and his name is Jesus. And I know some of you may not believe in him, and I'm not going to talk to you so much about him because you may have another higher power that you believe in, and I'm going to respect that. But everybody got to have something to believe in to get through, right? And you know what? It got to the place where the biggest challenge was, I'm a minister. I'm public. I do radio broadcasting. I've been doing radio broadcasting for over 9 years. I have my own station, the radio station, which went off the air for a little bit. We're coming back soon. What are people going to say about me? He's also a minister. What are people going to say about us? What kind of example are we giving? How can people even believe in God if they see that we're like this? And I had to keep this to myself. And what ended up happening was, one of the biggest things I went through physical abuse. I went through mental abuse. But the biggest thing of all of it was the isolation. Because I couldn't even text my kids. I couldn't contact my friends. Because there was always this sense of insecurity. Now, this person that I'm going to say I still love him, because we have to love, right? This person was very abused as a child. So it is true that hurt people. But what happened was, I lost myself in trying to rescue the little boy that was hurt inside this man. Yeah. And I even took him to get help. I went with him to get professional help. He tried. We went for marital counsel. We sat with the wrong person. That person has really messed us up even worse. Be careful who you go to. And my biggest thing was, like, what are people going to say about me now? How can I tell people that I've only been married 3 months in the marriage that I'm already getting abused? Not only by him, but by my stepdaughter. And this is really hard for me to even speak here. This is hard. Because you know what? Be real. I can't even speak this in the churches. I can't. Because they wouldn't understand. A lot of people wouldn't understand it. And immediately, sometimes one person makes that call, the other person, and the drama begins, and you don't want it. But I feel to be sincere and honest and open here. Can I be open? Yes. Please. Because I want you to understand, you can't live in a bubble. Okay? And you can't always worry about image. You can't always worry about being politically correct. There are times you have to step up. And you have to look outside the picture. Because when you're in the picture, you don't see the picture. If I look at a picture on the wall, I see everything. I see the design, I see if it was an oil paint, I see the frame, right? So I had to get out the picture. But I had a hard time. And I believe as a pastor, I've counseled many. I've counseled men that have been abused, have called me. Men have been abused. I was listening to the gentleman as he was speaking earlier, and I got a call a few months ago from one. You know, I get calls from women being abused constantly. I get inbox on Facebook constantly. And they don't understand how I walk around all joyful and happy, and I'm always happy, but I'm going to tell you why. It's a secret, but it's not going to be a secret anymore. It's because I serve an almighty God who has kept me. Amen. And that I can't deny. I serve an almighty God. You know? And my gosh, you know what? And I know I come to speak on this domestic violence, but I've even had, we focus so much at times, and this is a secular venue, so I could do this if I get, you know, judge or throw or minister and she said that, whatever. No, I'm going to be open. You know, not only men abuse women and women abuse men, we have same-sex couples getting abused. And you know what? At times, I I got a call once from a young man, and the cops laughed at him and walked away. It happens every day. So what do you do? When is enough enough? In marital abuse, when is enough enough? We make these vows to death do us part, right? I had a woman contact me that she was being raped by her husband. Unconsented sex. I don't care you're married. I don't care how many years you're married. She say no, it's no. It is rape. It is abuse. I get all kinds of people. And as I'm dealing with my own personal things and I see that all these kind of people are being drawn to me, I'm hearing their story and I'm finding strength because I'm looking outside the picture of their lives. Then I go back and I look at mine. I'm like, and I came to the conclusion that I was losing myself because of that isolation. But I didn't know how to walk away because I didn't want to be judged. And because I didn't want to fail God. That's how I felt. But I know that God wants the very best for me. And God has given me the opportunity to take the pain that I have went through and make it into a stepping ladder and go up and be able to reach out to others now. So I went through a lot of things, a lot of forgiving, okay. Committed adultery, okay, I forgive you, okay, and work and try to work and find ways and find counseling, find ways. But it got to the point where, you know what? Nothing seemed to matter. Finally abandoned me. And after 11 months of abandoning me, I recently heard from him and nothing has changed. One moment he's insulting me, the next moment, oh, we could have coffee sometime. What? And when I think about all I've been able to accomplish since he abandoned me, you know, it was like, whoa. It was like something that was hindering me was removed. And that's the thing. Where are you in this relationship? Are you so given into it that you're not loving yourself? If you believe in God, you know that He says in His Word, love your neighbor as yourself. You can't love someone else if you can't love yourself. You can't help someone else if you haven't been able to love yourself and step out the picture. I want you to look at the person next to you and say, get mad. Get mad. People say, eat. Come on. Get mad. Get mad. Let's do that one more time, man. Come on. Get mad.
Get mad.
I'm sure you would have been at the Met game this week. You guys would have been shouting, right? Just for you. And that's the acronym for make a decision. If you are in a domestic violence situation where your emotions are being pulled on and you're like a puppet right now, whether it's psychological, emotional, mental, physical, you gotta get to the place where you get what? Mad. Say it with me, get mad. I like her. You gotta make a decision. You gotta make a decision to love yourself. You have to understand this. Yes, like I believe in miracles. God can turn it around. I believe things can change. But in order for you to see a change, you gotta what? Be a change. And in order to be a change, you gotta make a decision. And sometimes the decisions may be a little drastic. Sometimes you gotta step out the comfort zone. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Sometimes you gotta let it see if it's just gonna float away. When people get sick, right? They go to what? The doctor. Yeah. You go to the hospital, right? You go to the waiting room, right? In a marriage, in marital abuse, usually one is sick. One of them is sick. And how many of you know that not everybody that goes and checks in the hospital makes it out? Some don't make it out of the hospital. Some do. So at there are times you gotta really, really look at that. And you gotta say, what is the level of sickness, of situation and this person. You gotta let them go to the hospital. If they don't make it back, they don't make it back. You keep it moving. You have to make a decision. You know what? I've been a public speaker for years. Pastor, evangelist, whatever you want to call me, motivational speaker, youth conference speaker, you name it, I've done it. TV, ministry, radio. And you know what? When the abuse started settling in, I began to almost believe the things he would tell me. There were times he would just look at me and just tell me, instead of telling me how beautiful you are, he'll tell me how stupid I was. How could I be stupid? I've accomplished all these things in my life. I had to get off the radio. Church politics got involved. Oh, she's a woman. You should be the head. She shouldn't be the head. Why is she the pastor? That got involved and that hurt me a lot too. Because now my wings were being clipped. And when I came to see little by little, I didn't even realize it, but when I came to figure it out, realize I lost myself. I lost who Genie really was. I wasn't on the radio anymore. People were questioning, where is she? I had to shut down Facebook. He told me to shut down Facebook. Then he controlled what pictures I would put up, what I couldn't put up, what I could put up, who I could talk to, who I couldn't talk to. But it wasn't until the separation really took place that I started wanting to pick up. And I was challenged by a pastor, never forget him, Pastor Alvin Torres. He said to me on New Year's Eve, the last New Year's Eve, Genie, pick up what you dropped. Pick up what you left. Pick it up. And leave everything in God's hands. Pick up and keep on walking. And you know what? I had to pick it up. And one of the things that I picked up was something that I let go when I was young. It was my education. And even with that, I was going through the scuffle of what's going on, what's not going on in my marriage. And I had to take a winter season off. And you know what? One of the things that I always thought of was, I saw domestic violence since I was a little girl. I saw my dad, and let me tell you, my dad's an example of one person that can change. He's an awesome man right now. But there was a time when I was a little girl that he was an abuser. Now, I can say, my sister's there, he's the most amazing man. And he's helping others change their lives. In the island of Puerto Rico, he's over there. But it took years for him to change. But it took my mom to one day say, enough. Enough. And she had to tell him to leave. And that was the most painful day for me. I was 5 years old. And she had to say enough. And she had to let go. She's still alone. She's in her mid-70s. But our parents are both fine, and I'm so blessed by them. There has to be a moment when you say enough. And when I saw that it affected me going back to school, I went back. And let me tell you, that was a whole other story, a whole other thing I had went through where I was so afraid of going back to get my education. Then I looked one day at everything I had accomplished in life but my education. So I decided to go back to school. And God led me to Plaza College. I call it my happy place. Not happy hour, happy place. Okay? But his issues affected me in my school. And I had to stop a semester. And then I said, no, wait a minute. I got mad. I had to make a decision. And I said, no, wait. I want back my radio station. I want back my friends. I want back my life. And now I'm going to take my education. And you know what? When I started going to school, I'm telling you, that started doing something in my self-esteem. I was like, wait a minute. When I started seeing A's, I said, I did this. When I started seeing that I was being called to speak in different places, when I started seeing that I started picking up where I had left off, I said, I have to make a decision to keep on walking and leave that behind. If God is going to bring it, God will bring it. But he's going to bring it right. If not, he can stay in his mess. Why? Because I am made in the image of God. You are all made in the image of God. We are beautiful people. We are conquering people. Nobody here is a victim or should call themselves a victim. I call myself a victor. Why? Because I made a decision that nobody's going to ever isolate me, put me in a box, smack me, beat me, call me stupid, tell me all kind of things. It is not a nice feeling to be laying next to your husband who you're married to. You just came from church and he turned around and tells you nobody has ever hated you the way I hate you, right? And you're like, what? What are you talking about? But I tell you this, in the midst of the struggle, you may feel that you don't have the strength inside of you to do so, but you do. Look within yourself. You have the strength to be able to rise up. You'll be able to get out of the box that person put you in. Put your leg up and then get out that box and then take your other leg and get out the box and there ain't nobody there to push you. You don't need nobody to pat you on the back. You can do this. You can get mad. You can make a decision. And I'm going to conclude because everybody touched up on everything. Healing. Healing comes when you can let go and forgive. Now, forgiveness doesn't mean you go and have dinner with them and then let them beat you up the next day again. But you need to forgive, first of all, yourselves.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people that are being abused start feeling guilty and blaming themselves. I started looking at myself, wondering, did I do something wrong? Maybe it was me. Maybe I should have never said that. Maybe I should have not provoked him. Oh my God, I'm walking on eggshells. Oh man, I should have known better. I should have known better. I should have just let him sleep. I should have not asked him a question. I should have not asked him if he wanted coffee. I should have not. And you start feeling guilty. Well, maybe I wasn't understanding enough. Or maybe I didn't listen enough. Or maybe... Stop it. Stop condemning yourself. Stop looking at what if, what I didn't do, what I could have done. But begin to forgive yourself. And then when you forgive yourself, begin to say, you know, I'm going to forgive this person. And I'm going to get out the box. And I'm going to leave them in their mess. And I'm going to move forward. I'm going to trust that higher power I believe in to deal with that. And I'm going to go and pick up where I left off. You need to dust your feet and keep on going. You need to let healing come. It is a process. You know what? And I got news for you. You may think that there are not people out there that can love. Yes, you can love again. Yes, you can one day be happy again. There are people out there just like you. You can't live in that fear. You can't close yourself up. But it is a process. Okay? So I encourage you to make a decision. I encourage you to keep faith. I encourage you to press through. I encourage you to push through. I encourage you to leap over them fences. I encourage you to look at yourself in the mirror and see beyond the man and the woman in the mirror and say, I deserve better because God made no junk. I wasn't placed here to be abused. And I know at times it's going to be hard, but you can do it. Love yourself. Embrace yourself. Let the self-esteem that was low and squashed to the ground by those negative words be built up again. Be redeemed. Redeem yourself, not by vengeance, not by getting back, but by surrounding yourself with positive people, getting a good support group. Okay? I thank God I have a great support group around me. I have friends that love me unconditionally, family that loves me unconditionally, that I'm able to finally get in touch with again. I've been catching up with everybody because he had isolated me for a long time. I thank God that I walk into my school and I see all these happy faces. And you know what? Believe it or not, and I'm not saying it because Dean is here and I want him to give me an A on anything. But you know what? Going back to the school actually was great therapy for me and brought a lot of healing to me. And I met a lot of young ladies going through domestic violence who have come to me for counsel. And you know what I learned? You know what? Everything happens for a reason. And I thank God for it. And I'm so glad the place that I'm in now. So, I'm just going to leave this out there. I know this is a secular venue. But, if anybody at any moment while we're under the tent feels like, Genie, I need a hug. Hugs bring healing. I'm good at hugging people. Or you feel, Genie, can you say a prayer for me? Or pull you to a corner? We'll say a prayer. If you want to talk to me, you want my number? I'll give you my number. It doesn't cost you a thing. Is that 1-800? But I'm sure you got unlimited data, right? Be encouraged. I want you to look at yourselves. You're all so beautiful. Let the scars that have been in your life be turned into stars that will shine in the darkest hour of somebody else's life. The scars in my life are now stars. And I can smile and I can stand and say, I am whole. I am whole, and I'm still going through some processes, but I can say I am whole because I can talk about this and it doesn't hurt the way it did a year ago. I see the best is yet to come, not only for me, but for each and every one of you right here. God bless you. God keep you.
Thank you.